So the buffalo hunt was the main source of getting food. So one was going into winter, so that's when we do in late fall. And the second one would happen in early spring, so we'd have it fresh meat after the winter because you're craving fresh meat at that point. Here on the plains, the buffalo was the biggest source and there was thousands of them. So we followed the food when we needed it. So the hunts were organized in a way that the community chose one person to organize the hunt and to lead the hunts. We called that the person the buffalo hunt leader. It had to be someone with great hunting skills, done tons of buffalo hunts, well-respected, could communicate really well, great authority, great leadership. Buffalo hunt leader had 3 main rules to follow, and one was that you don't hunt on the day of the Sabbath. So the Sabbath is just a holy day of rest. Most people now know a Sunday. But it was just because a priest or a pastor would commonly come on the hunt with us, just because family to family, we followed different religions or believed different things. The second rule was that you don't go alone and you don't come back alone. So bison are huge, like they are massive, they're also a herd animal. So if you went hunting by yourself, you cause something called a run. So a run is just a buffalo stampede, basically. So if that happened and you're by yourself, you got injured, you're more likely to die out in the field because no one knows you're there. Also, if the run happened towards camp, that's a lot of people who don't have that warning and super dangerous. And the last rule is that you wait for the general order. So only our buffalo leader can give that order. They had to make sure everyone was ready to go and everyone had caught everything, so we call leave as one. So with rules, punishments also came with them to help enforce. The first time you broke a rule, your bridle and saddle were cut up. So your bridle is what helps, kind of the reins, helps steer, hold on. Saddle, you of course sit in it. The second time you broke a rule, the coat on your back would get cut up. So if you weren't protected from rain, wind, sun, and the bugs, but also the Metis like to decorate everything, and I mean everything. So our coats had beautiful beadwork, embroidery or quill work on them, maybe a mixture of all 3. So I can't imagine having to go home to your wife who made you that beautiful beaded coat and it's in shreds because beads were expensive, thread's expensive, needles were expensive back then, even today they are. And she would be really mad because that's beautiful artwork that was like hundreds of hours on you. And then the last punishment, we kind of said, that's it, you're being super selfish, was that you'd be put into middle of camp, everyone gather around, and you'd be flogged. So modern media makes it sound like I will leave you half dead, bleeding out with vultures surrounding us. That's not the case. You were sore, maybe a bruise or 2 on your backside, but no blood was shed, no skin was broken, because you're still a valuable member. But it was social shaming at its finest. And one main rule we had every day was that you don't steal. We would grow up learning you just needed to ask, because they would give it to you and they'd expect the same thing back. Really thought of community first and individual last. So if you were caught stealing the tiniest bead to a whole buffalo, the punishment if we were in a tight enough community would be that you'd be put in the middle of camp, everyone would gather around, they call your name 3 times and word thief at the end. But Tail Creek, where I said there's thousands of us, that doesn't work because you can't see the person's face. So you'd have a crier walk you through camp, calling your name and calling thief, so everyone knew what you did and everyone knew what your face looked like. So the last bison hunt happened in 1878, just because at that point the government had killed so many buffalo off that we decided it wasn't worth trying to do the buffalo hunts anymore because we want to help preserve the species. And so the next station I sent you off to is a harvesting camp where we talk about what we did after the bison hunt so that we would have food for the winter.